Hey folks, here we are. It is another day. It is Thursday, May 13th. Unbelievable day today. We're going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives today with our message. I'm Tom Young, and we're here for Money Shifts podcasts and Facebook Live. So we're going to create a message. We're going to inspire. We're going to challenge you to growth, challenge you to change the future. Change the end of the story. You know, maybe you're sitting there thinking about your life and here's what it is today and here's what it appears the story is going to look like in the future. And I'm giving you an opportunity to change the end of the story. That's really what it's about. I meet a lot of people and they all tell me the same thing. After I go through and show them some ideas and opportunities that lay before them, they say, gee, I wish I'd have met you 20 years ago. Well, I don't have a time machine. We can't go back and start over again. But what we can do is we can change the ending of your story. Make it better, happier, more joyful, more successful, whatever you choose you want it to be. As we start every day, we start with prayers for everybody. This China virus that has gone around the world, when and where it's going to end, we don't know. Some countries are dealing with it. Some aren't doing so well with it. So we need to pray for all of those people. We need to pray for those who have lost loved ones. And we need to pray for the loved ones that have been lost, that they would be gathered into his arms and taken to his heaven above. In Jesus' name we pray. As we get started today, interesting word today. Really, the word today is education. The process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, especially at a school or a university. An enlightening experience. Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. One of the most striking characteristics of highly successful people is their constant curiosity. L. Frank Baum, author of the Wizard of Oz story, said, no thief, however skillful, can rob one of knowledge. And that is why knowledge is the best and safest treasure to acquire. And that's really what I'm all about. Knowledge sets you free. It's just that way. So we look at the future and we're on this journey with the book, The Road Less Traveled. There it is. And right now, the topic today is really the healthiness of depression. And then reunification of rebirth is tomorrow. But the healthiness of depression, what does that really mean? Healthiness of depression? I think all of us at different times in our lives have experienced depression of some way. Some kind. It has taken control of our thinking, control of our mind. And I've been there. There are times, I've shared with you some of my history. And 30 years ago, I went through a very, very bad time. I was on the edge of distinction or extinction. And I survived because I met a man named Jody who gave me hope. Which is what I hope I do here, that I give you hope, expectation, inspire you in some way that it will get better. So many times I meet people that have reached a certain level in life and they just seem to can't get any further. They're stuck. And that there are people that think of things wrongly and the happiness or the healthiness of depression is realizing somewhere along the way that the depression we're having can be solved with some knowledge, with a decision, with a thinking muscle between our ears, the decision to move forward, to learn something new. I'm tired of this position, whether it's where you're at and what I would call an acceptable level of mediocrity. And next month's book is I think I've decided on it, Living Above the Level of Mediocrity is next month's book. So we're gonna talk about that. And this depression thing that we're in, people get in and out of depression. And I think we have to take a moment and look at our lives and look back in our past. And we wonder, how did we get so depressed at this moment in time? And then how did we get out of it? How did we get undepressed or less depressed at a moment in time? And I believe it all comes down to the 6 inches between our ears. And it can be remedied, treated with knowledge. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's like the books that I have read in the past 30, 35 years of my career, 40 years of my career. I have read hundreds and hundreds of books. I have shelves full, 800 or 900 books on shelves that I have read at least some of each of those books. A lot of them I read all the book, and a few of them I've read multiple times. And they became the catalyst to move me forward, to change my thinking, to change my interpretation of what was happening in my life. The same thing applies when I look at the financial world that people are involved in. You know, they come to me for help. They are at a point in life, maybe they're getting at a moment in life where they're, okay, it's time to think about retirement. It's time to think about how to get out of debt. Man, we got to get out of this. We got credit cards and we got payments here and payments there. We got car loans and this and on and on and on. And we need to get out of it. You need to get over being afraid to ask for help, to seek out help. Remember that fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. Most fears in our life, you know, unless somebody's holding a knife in our throat or a gun to our head, that would connotate real fear. But most of the fear that we experience in life is false evidence appearing real. It is conjured up out of our conscious mind or our subconscious mind based on some past experience that we didn't overcome at that time or didn't accept or whatever, and it stayed with us. It's like what Peck talks about early on in this book, and he talks about the challenges of life that you work every day to avoid. You refuse to accept the challenges in life and you avoid them. And the more you do that, ultimately you will create and become psychotic. You will create a neurosis. And then when you get to that point, you will need help to get over it. You will need help to get over it. So don't go there. Start reading something that will help you change your thinking, grow your thinking, grow your ability to think differently. You know, so much of that when I talk to people about finances and we talk about, you know, the typical financial world is telling you, well, put all you can into your 401k at work or your 403b or 457 plan if you're a government employee or an IRA or whatever, and you're taking money in your life. You're throwing it as far as you can into the future where you have little access to it without severe penalties and taxation, thinking you're going to be in a lower tax bracket at someday in the future. Wake up. Let me slap you. Wake up. Go to usdebtclock.org. And if you really think you're going to be in a lower tax bracket in the future, it simply means you're planning on being broke, having nothing. That's the only way you're going to be in a lower tax bracket. So you're taking this money and you're throwing it as far as you can into the future. Who knows what you're going to get back and what the dollars are going to be worth when you get it back because of inflation. Historical inflation in America is 3% per year for 30 plus years. So 3% inflation in 25 years, your dollar is only worth 47 cents in purchasing power. So in 25 years, you're going to lose 50% of the value of whatever you accumulated in that account. And because you have little or no access to it, you will be forced to go to the bank up the street or in town and borrow money to buy cars, to repair your house, to do whatever you need to do. And then once you get involved in debt, whether it's a credit card balance or whatever, it becomes a drug. And the more you do it, the harder it is to get out, because you lose sight of what you're doing, and the interest you're paying on that money has opportunity cost attached to it. Opportunity cost, almost all the time when I do an analysis for a new client, equates to hundreds of thousands of dollars lost between now and retirement, even millions of dollars lost over a lifetime. Now, when you lose it, it isn't lost. It didn't go down the sewer. It went into the pockets of the financial institutions. It's the reason they want you to think the way they want you to think, because it makes sure that they have an ongoing flow of profits at your expense. That's what it's about. If you accept that and you're unwilling to think differently, remember, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about thinking differently. Do some research, folks. Do your own research. How did society get to this moment in time? College kids coming out of college with negative, unpatriotic attitudes. I talked about it before. Do some research. It's called the Fabian Society. Goes back to 1890. Do some research. Go to the search engines that's out there. All this information is there. It will scare you. Look at what's going on today in the US. All the political upheaval and everything. Who do you believe? It's gotten to the point where who do you believe? Don't know. So you must do your own research. It's all about education. Today's word was education. The more knowledge you acquire, the more education you acquire, the greater the chance of success in life, in all aspects of life. Family, financial, business, whatever it is. All of those success levels increase when you take the time to become educated, when you grow you in some way, personal growth. You have to make that decision. That's all it is. It's just a decision. And there are story after hundreds, thousands of stories, millions of stories of people that have accepted the challenge to grow. And in turn, they change their life. Accept the challenge. It's up to you. God bless. We'll see you here tomorrow at noon for a continued inspiration and stories of growth. Get my new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project. Get it at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. You can also get it by going to cfo-project.com, up here on the top of the screen, right there. cfo-project.com. Put in your name and email address and you'll get a link. Instantly allow you to download the whole book cover to cover. Put it on your computer, put it on your phone. You can read it there. Summit to Success. If I don't have your email address and you really are open to changing your life, this is free, folks. There are 6 speakers, 7 presentations. They will change your life. It's free. Take advantage. Send me an email. If you go to cfo-project.com, guess what? I'll get your email. I'll put you on the list immediately. Give you the opportunity to get that free ticket for May 24th. It'll be live from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. the next day. 24 hours you will have to listen to the speakers. God bless. We'll see you here tomorrow. Another great day. Have a great day. God bless.